Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I am privileged. I am feeling privileged to be as a part of the webinar and talk on this very popular topic of internet and network. So, how does graph theory play a role in that? Just a sec. Actually, it has gone down. Okay. So today I'll be talking on graph theory and applications, graph theory application on online social network. So generally what I'm going to talk is Bonato has already established a model of social network, online social network, where it is mostly a graph. How does graph increase, gets increases by the time when the people join in? So the major tools used is small area estimation and then power law. So I'll be explaining all this thing, but just to give a essence before I come to the terminology. And I'll come to the social network where I will talk on my specialization of sign graph, how sign graph can be used on that, after explaining how the graph is working for the social network. So here we've generalized the already established iterated local transmission model. I think I need to. Okay, how can you remove this?
Hello, ma.
Yeah. Actually, it is covering the page, no? So that is why I was thinking the side menu bar. Anyways, here we generalize the iterated local transitivity model for online social network for the in terms of sign graph. So what actually happens in this model at each time step, once there is a small group, they are connected to each other. Then as the time goes on increasing, people go on entering into the getting connected. Okay, so the number of people gets increases. So that's in this and then in this local iterated local transitivity model at each time step t, and for already existing vertex x, where the x is representing the people, a new clone vertex, because this is a mathematical model, so we will not name the person, but we'll say that if the person is b friend to other person, suppose x dash, x is friend to x dash, and x dash comes into the network, like he joins, then x dash is added. So that is called as a clone by Bonato, and we also call that joining person as a clone, who is the friend to the previously existing person. So x dash is added, x a new for vertex x, a new vertex x dash is added, which joins to the close neighbors of x. Okay, that means it will join to x, and it will also join, x dash will also join to all the vertices to which x is already adjacent. So all this I'll be explaining, but just to give the what is iterated local transitivity model, I'm just trying to tell in few lines that what it actually is. Then I'm going to discuss the properties such as balance, so balance of the society. Then how can you cluster how can you, when it grows, when this grows up, like the network grows and it becomes complex, then can we cluster them into different groups? And there is a property which is called sign compatibility and consistency. So we'll talk all this in my lecture. Okay, the this type of network focus on the, like sign network focus on the type of relation, generally friendship and enmity between the people, uh, that is the members of online social network. The ILT model, iterated local transitivity model, has been abbreviated as ILT. The ILT model for sign graphs gives an insight on how the network reacts to the addition of clone vertex. So, and given the initial nature of the network at the time t is equal to 0, can we predict the nature of the network at the time t is equal to k or t is equal to whatever higher value? So how it grows, graph, what are the mathematics involved in between for the graphs, and then I'll come to the sine graph where these properties like balance, sine network, all the clusterability and other things are being discussed. So this properties like balance and clusterability, it helps to establish natural balance in society by providing possible formation of cluster of vertices in society, cluster of people in society for peaceful coexistence and smooth functioning of social systems. So how are we, this is just an idea, and how are we going to implement this? Let us first understand, we have to understand this by slowly and slowly by getting into the terminology. So in the same thing here, it is written that in the iterated local transitivity model, at each time step t, and for every existing vertex, a new vertex appears which joins to the closed neighbor set of the vertices. So if V is any arbitrary vertex of the graph, sigma, then we denote the set consisting of all vertices of G adjacent to V by NV, and it has to be closed if it is closed neighborhood. So we will come to all this, and this has been discussed by Bonato in 2009. The paper comes, the name of the paper is Model of Online Social Network, and I will explain all that over here, and also how can it be extended to the sine graph. So first of all, those who are like many of the, I expect that some of the students are also here. So just to make everybody flow with the lecture, I'll just I'll start with this, the what is actually network is. So network is nothing but a graph. Okay, and sometimes it is also a diagram, but here I'm considering it as a graph. And what is graph actually? It is a set of nodes joined by lines or arrows, because once it is diagram, then it will be joined by a directed line. So graph based representation is the best representation, because as some computer scientists, some computer science students may or expertise may be knowing that if they want to represent any flow, any program, then they generally tend to represent by a flow. Flowchart gives an easy understanding of the program, how from where to where it is going. Okay, so graph-based representation is representing a problem as a graph can provide different point of view, and representing a problem as a graph can make a graph very simpler to understand, and more accurately it provides appropriate tool for solving the problem. So, and what makes the problem graph like? Suppose there are, so when the problem can be tackled with in terms of graph, when there are two components like nodes and edges, the entities that you are modeling on can be taken as the nodes, and the interaction or the link between them can be taken as the edges. And we see that the most complex systems are graphs, like if you see friendship network, you see any scientific collaboration network, you see any business ties wherever. Okay, then if you see protein to protein interaction network like DNA and RNA and all that, then if you want to analyze transport network, or for that matter internet, so wherever you see, you will find that there are some kind of entities and the linkages between them. So what we do, that we convert it into the graph, because we know, as a graph theorist, as a hardcore graph theorist, we are learning several properties of the graphs, and which may make all these network understanding and more, you can put in more input to that to make it more elegant. Okay, so the graph theory properties, if you are well versed with, and if you are dealing with all such kind of network, maybe the better the solution people are looking for can be given by using our knowledge of graph theory to such applications. Yes. So graph, as we all know, is the ordered pair of vertices and edges, where V is called the vertex set and E is called the S set, consisting of ordered pair of vertices. As we all know, this is just to make my topic complete. I've just taken the given the graph structure. Like these are the, suppose this is the small graph where V1, V2, V3, V4 are the vertices, and the linkage is given by E1, E2, E3, E4 and E5. So it is an ordered pair surely, because first of all the entity, because vertex are the replica of the entities and edges are the replica of the relation between them. So until and unless entities are there, you cannot talk about the relation between them. So first of all entities has to be there, and then the relation, if any, if it may happen that there is no relation, but then it has to be first the entities and then the relation. Okay, so that is why it is called an ordered pair. So and what is the connectivity? A graph remains connected if you can move from one vertex to another vertex by a path. Okay, and then by a path that is following a sequence of edges. So that is any two vertex, you can reach any other vertex from any vertex to any other vertex you can reach by a path. And what is degree? The number of edges incident to a vertex. So if the graph G has m edges, and then you can say that if you take the sum of the degrees, it will be equal to twice the number of edges, which is the first theorem on graph theory, and also it is called handshake lemma, because if two people shake hand, two hands are required for one shake of hand. So it is also called, and then now slowly and slowly I'm coming to my topic. So random graph. Irdos and Renal way back in 1959 defined a relationship between the average degree and the connection between the nodes in the random graph. Okay, so a pair of node has probability P of being connected. If it has a probability P of being connected, then the average degree K is given by probability P into N is the number of nodes. Okay, so when K is equal to when P is equal to 0, that is probability of is 0 for being connected, then you have to, then the average degree will be K will be equal to 0. And if it is probability, as you know that it lies between 0 and 1, so if it is 0.09, then K will be equal to 1. If probability is 1, then it will be 1 by 2 n raised to power g, that is this is n 1 by 2 n square. Okay, so all this has been discussed in a very small paper in 1959, only 2-page paper. Okay, the paper is only done, then such a high thing they have given that those who are working these are just so that this paper forms a base to that. Okay, so network is a series of points or nodes connected by a, so we can say now network is a series of points or nodes interconnected by a communication path, and network is a medium to share the data and information between sources or modes, two sources or many sources. So this is a kind of complex network where there is a cluster between clustering. The clustering has been done. So such a complex networks, many models have been developed, like web graph, social network, biological network, and so forth. Okay, so the study of complex network is a young and active area of scientific research. However, there is a consensus that following are the three properties which play a major role that I told in my when I started my lecture, that it first is power law degree distribution, then small world properties, and then average distance. So these are the basic properties that are being used in whichever social online network we people are using, whether it is Twitter, Flickr, or Yahoo, or Google, whatever. Okay, so these are the models on online social network. Many models exist for general complex network. So like preferential attachment, random power law, copying, duplication, geometric. So different ways the people have gone in to define the social network, and accordingly the complexity is being defined for their network. But here majorly I'm going to discuss about iterative local transitivity model. Okay, so what is basically when they are designing the social network mathematical model, what is the goal behind? To design and analyze the model which stimulates many of the observed properties on online social network. That means it has maximum number of property of online social network. And at the same time, it should be simple and evolve and and it should evolve in a natural way. Not that people are finding it difficult to use the system to use the social network. Okay, so online social network. So, and then social network is a social arrangement built up on the individual called nodes. Generally, individual will be, because we are a hardcore graph theorist, so what we will do, we'll always try to again and again we'll come back to our graphs, okay, and try to say nodes or vertices which are connected to one or more specific type of vertices, and these connections are called relations. Then those relations may be friendship, because we are talking about social networks. So social network generally is regarding the if you know the person, then only you get connected, or you try to know the person. So generally friendship comes into the picture. Then financial exchange or something like that. You can adopt the same model if the same kind of thing is appearing somewhere else, like in DNA exchange or this and that. So you can apply there with certain requirements, or you can make certain changes over there according to the model. Okay, so here the explanation is done on the application of graph theory or applicability on online social networking. Nowadays, it has become more popular area of graph theory, the study of networking and the study of online social network. Technology upgrades the living standard and fulfill all the needs of human beings. So, like in online social network, you can share many things, and maybe you become even if you don't know the person, you can get connected to the person if the person accepts, and then you can explore certain things. And of course, if you are going in a positive direction, then definitely this will do wonders. But if you are going in the negative direction, then it is up to the people how to explore the technology. So on online social networking plays a very important role in people's life. Online social networking has become popular nowadays, and it is increasing dynamically day by day. Nowadays, all young generations, you will see that they are totally dependent on the online social network, be it WhatsApp, be it Google or Gmail, whatever they. So generally, more prominently nowadays, WhatsApp is being used. So so that is why now the demands of youth becomes important. So youth play a key role in modeling any kind of social network. So as I told to you that it will depend on the three things: small world property, power law, and the average distance. So what is small world property? It was introduced by Watts and Strogatz, and it is the central notion in the study of complex network. And also Milgram has also given has also studied small world property on short paths of friends. When there are short paths between the friends and it connects the strangers. So the small world property. So what is actually small world property? It posits low average distance. So that for that you need to understand what is average distance. So it posits low average distance and high clustering. High clustering and low average distance means as you go. See, what is the distance between any two vertices in the graph? It is the number of edges between or the number of links between any two vertices you are looking for. Okay, so as it grows, the distance between any two person will not increase, it will either remain same or it will decrease. So as the complex net as the iteration by iteration the network is increasing and becoming more and more complex, you will see that the high clustering is there. High clustering means the distance between any two person has been reduced because so many edges have been added. And how to add the edge, how the new person gets added, that I already told you something, but with the respect to the graph, I will also explain. And it has been observed in a wide variety of complex networks. So its small world property, please remember, is for giving the low average distance and high clustering. So that is why any social model, we have to have this property of small world. Then Kumar et al., they studied the evolution of online social network on Flickr and Yahoo 360, and they found that the average distance between users actually decreases over time, and these networks again exhibits power law degree distribution. Okay, so what is power law degree distribution? So two things, average distance and power law degree distribution becomes important when you are using the small world network. So a small network has a speciality. It is a type of map when you represent it in the mathematical graph, in which most of all of them are not connected, so most of them may not be adjacent to each other, but they can be reached by a path. Okay, so through certain number of edges. So that is given by the relation L directly proportional to log n, where L is the distance or the length of the path between two randomly chosen vertices or nodes, and N is the number of nodes. So this is the very important property of small world network, that the length between any two vertices or any two nodes, okay, that will be directly proportional to the log n. See, we are not going to restrict to our to the initial network. When it is going complex, then as more and more enters into the social, people enters into the social networks, or in graph theoretical terms, when more and more vertices are added, then what can you predict in when you are modeling with respect to small world network, that length between any two randomly chosen vertices or nodes will be directly proportional to log of the number of people at that moment of time. Then what is power law? Power law is that one is depending on the power of the other. They basically, power law says this. Okay, so power law is a functional relationship between two quantities where one quantity varies as the power of another. So y, suppose, is varying as the power of x. So y is, and a is a constant. So y is equal to a. This is the kind of mathematical relation of explaining power law. So in case of our study, a will be a constant and k is a power law exponent. So in this case, the network edges are growing super linearly in terms of nodes. So if x is the number of nodes, then y is the edge, it is going in the power of the number of nodes. Okay, so edges are increasing, more and more it is increasing, and that is why the distance are getting reduced. because more if the number of vertices are limited, and if you go on making increasing the number of edges, that is you are connecting the people. Those who are a stranger to them, they are also getting connected, and the distance of course will get reduced. And what is degree distribution? In the study of graphs and networks, the degree of the node in the network is the number of connections it has to other nodes, as we all know. Okay. And what is degree distribution? It is the probability distribution of this degree over the whole network. So what will be the probability of the degree of the node over the whole network, particular node? Okay. How much people will get connected to that? So it is the statistical term degree distribution. Okay. So so now we come to so having explained all these things. So what is iterative local transitivity model? This produces the finite, simple, and undirected graph at the time t is equal at the time t, and it will be denoted by GT. It is denoted by GT. So and t will vary. So at t is equal to 1, what will be the number of vertices, nodes, how many people are connected to each other, and what happens according to this model at t is equal to 1. And you can predict when you know what is the base graph at t is equal to 0, or how the people are connected at t is equal to 0, then you can predict about at t is equal to k, or t is equal to any finite k. Okay. So how does the graph grow? That is to be learned. So the parameter in iterated local transitivity model is the graph at the time t is equal to 0. That is the time when it starts. Okay. So goes over a infinitely countable sequence of discrete time step. The time step t for t greater than equal to 1 will be defined to be the transition between the t minus 1th iteration to tth iteration. And as I told you earlier, the parameter of this model will be only the initial graph. That is, from the initial graph, you are going to predict the degree of any vertex at the time t, at the time k, or distance between any two vertex, and Wiener index, and so many things. Many things has been explained given the parameter, that is the initial graph G naught. Okay, and this G naught, it is going to continue in countably infinite sequence, in the form of a countably infinite sequence. So G naught will be the parameter. Okay, and which has to be fixed finite connected graph. So the graph, suppose for t greater than equal to 0, the graph GT has been constructed. So there will be a transition from GT minus 1 to GT. And I told you the only parameter will be the original graph. So GT, suppose for a fixed t greater than 0, GT has been constructed. How to form GT plus 1? So as told to you earlier, for each node x belonging to vertex set of GT, we add a clone x dash so that x dash is joined to x and all the neighbors at the time t. Note that the set of new nodes at the time t plus 1 will be twice the cardinality of the vertex at the time t. So I will maybe I explain over here. So suppose this is the small network. Okay, at the time t equal to 0, this A, B, C, D are the people where A knows B, B knows C, C knows D, and D knows A. This is the small network. Okay, this is the small network, and this is, as again and again I'm repeating, that this G naught is going to be the only parameter on base of which you can define the characteristic of this complex network which has evolved due to this. Can you see in the first iteration only what will happen? Just see, please pay attention out here. that you are having 4 vertices A, B, C, D, and this is the parameter that you are going to use, the connectivity that has been shown over here. Now you see A, B, C and D are here. A, B, this is A, B, C and D are here. This is the square, okay? Now for every vertex you need to construct a clone. So for A, there is a clone A dash. For B, there is a clone B dash. For C, there is a clone C dash. And for D, there is a clone D dash. And now D dash is, clone of D is being connected to D. Then it is also connected to whichever D is adjacent. Like D is adjacent to C and D is adjacent to A. So D dash is also adjacent to C and D dash is also adjacent to A. Similarly, C dash is a clone to C. You can see that C dash is a clone to C. So what happens that C dash is connected to C, because what we have initially when I started speaking, I told that the clone will be a friend to C. Okay, so clone gets connected to C, but then clone also be friends with the friend of other friends of C. That is, C is also friendly to D and C is also friendly to B. Okay, so clone will also try to get connected to D and B. This is how the it is increasing. Okay, so now see, this small network has increased to this network in the first iteration. So this is G0 and this is G1 at t is equal to 1. So you can imagine that at t is equal to 2, what will happen? Now how many? So the vertices have been is become twice. Initially it was 4 and now it is 8 because every vertex is has got a clone. Now in the next iteration, how many vertices will be there? Because now this can be taken as the initial graph where there are 8 vertices. There are 8 vertices. So in the next iteration, for every vertex, there will be a clone. There will be a clone for C dash. There will be a clone for C. There will be a clone for D. Clone for D dash. Clone for A. So that means in the next iteration, the number of vertices will be 16. Yes. So very rapidly the network will increase. Okay. And then this is in few steps only you will see that the network is growing in this manner. Okay. It has become such a complex. Okay. So in this the mathematics that is being used, degree of any vertex X at the time t will be denoted by dt. So you can, so what I have been telling, that from the initial graph you can predict the degree of any vertex over here. Like if the degree of this vertex is 2, then you can say that degree of this vertex will be twice of this, and degree of its clone will be degree of d plus 1, because you are adding this to the vertex itself. So here for the vertex itself in the next iteration, degree has become twice. Okay, and plus 1, and then for the clone it has become only whatever was the degree of the original vertex plus 1. So there is a relation. If nt is the order of, so order is also increasing, that is the number of vertices is increasing as the time is increasing, and the number of edges are also dynamic, that is they depend on the time. So what we will see that at the time t, if you know the initial parameter, that is, I am again and again repeating, G0 is the initial parameter. So what happens that at any time t, the number of nodes, that is the cardinality of the people joined, will be equal to 2 raised to power, if everybody joins of course, then it will be equal to 2 raised to power t into n0. Okay, that is every time it is becoming twice. So it, in terms of initial number of vertices, it will be nt will be equal to 2t n. Okay, and given a node x at the time t, let if x dash is its clone, the simple but important reference governing the relation between the degrees are given by this, that degree at the time t plus 1 of the vertex x will be twice the degree at the time t of the vertex x plus 1. I already told, I have shown you here. Just see that this was the of degree 2, so it has become degree 4 plus 1. Okay, and then what about the clone? The clone is the degree, the clone degree is, as you see, is 3 and it is 2, so it will be same as the degree of the original vertex plus 1, because this edge you are adding. Okay, and adjacency is also to the same to the vertex, to the clone vertex, and also to the vertex it is adjacent. So that is why plus 1 becomes mandatory. And then you have similarly यहाँ पे, so degree relation, so from the initial graph you can predict the number of nodes at the time t, at the time any time t. Okay, and then what is volume of the graph at the time step t? The volume of the graph g at the time step t, that is gt, is the sum of degree of all the vertices of the graph gt. Okay, that is if you want to take, see this type of things, this is by handshake lemma. So volume is nothing but the twice the number of edges, and this is the sum of degrees is called the volume of the graph. Okay, because sum of the degrees is giving you the number of edges that has come up. Okay, so that is why twice the number of edges, so edges can always be counted. So that is why this is value of gt will be given by this. So, and then this is the formula, general formula. So we will calculate all this, okay, in terms of g naught. And then what is the Wiener index? Of course, we will be talking about connected graph, because the disconnected graph, then each component will be growing on its own by using iterative local transitivity model. So in connected graph, the Wiener index is the sum of distance between every pair of vertices. That is, Wiener index of the graph g at the time t will be equal to summation of any two vertices belonging to vertices of gt, matlab graph at the time t, and the distance between any. So distance also at the time t is given by dt of xy. Okay. So this are all these things are all these properties are the important properties which one would like to explore when because one would like to predict what is going to happen when the network becomes more and more complex. Okay, so what is the average distance? So average distance of the graph at the any time t is defined by the c. So average distance I have been talking, and now what is, so average distance has to be defined in terms of Wiener index and the n choose 2. Okay, that is why Wiener index was defined. So Wiener index is the sum of distance at any time t, sum of the distance between any two vertices, and then nc2 means ntc2 means nt is the number of vertices at the time 2, and then how these vertices are if you mean that every two vertices are joined to each other, then this will be the average distance. Okay, and ultimate average distance of the graph, initial graph is defined as limit t tending to infinity L of gt. So this will come in terms of t. So if I take what is the limiting value of this, that will be the ultimate average distance of the given initial parameter graph g naught. Okay, so there is a theorem that for t greater than 0, the average degree of gt equals this. The average degree of gt is equal to 3 by 2 raised to power t. Volume of g naught, volume is the sum of the degrees upon n naught. N naught is the number of vertices at the time t naught, at the time t is equal to 0, plus 2 and then minus 2. Okay, so there are the working is there. It's not very difficult, but yes, one can work it out in this slide. I have shown the working. But to work this out, we have to work the lemma that a number of edges at the time t must be equal to 3 raised to power t E naught number of edges at the time t equal to 0 plus n naught the number of vertices at the time t is equal to 0 minus number of vertices at the time t. So this, if we work out this, then this can be calculated. So I think this will be shared with you people, so you can see this working. You people can try, because being a student or a person of graph theory, these are all handshake lemma and the small exercise which people can do and find out. So these are the, see, if you do all this thing, it will help you to generate any other network, or wherever you find such kind of network, such kind of happening, you can evolve, you can give this model to that, okay, with certain changes, of course, which may be required for that particular model. So volume of GT, this can be given. So all this, I'm not going to go step by step, but I think if this is shared to everybody, everybody can find it out. I see all geometric series and all that is being used, and then further, because average degree was defined as volume of GT upon NT, so the theorem ka proof you can calculate. Taking this as the formula for average degree, further this can be broken up by previous formula, and then by the lemma. With the help of lemma, you can continue and you will get that this is the required result for the, this for the theorem that for t is equal to 0, the average degree of the graph will be equal to this. Okay, so this is how, and believe me, this is not, thoda sa you have to be, it is involving a bit, but not that much. If you are a bit sound with the exercise of simplification and all that, and with the formula you can do this. Okay, and then therefore for any t greater than 0, Wiener index at the time t can be given by this formula, and for t greater than 0, this is L of GT can be given by this formula. So all this again can be worked it out once you have the definition of all, and then this is ultra average degree, so this can also be worked it out, and you can just check. So all this, there may be certain lemma required, so you can go through these lemma, and then you can work. Okay, so this is using all that. Initially, these definitions were defined, and then they have come to the theorem. So all this, so this, see, all that mathematics is being involved in the network. It's not that, it's only not that you are feeling happy getting connected with your friends. They are such a, the one who is building all this thing, they are really, I mean, they are working hard with all the mathematics. Even if they are computer science person, they need so much of mathematics. They are good with their programming too, but then programming will be based on whatever maths is being involved over there. Okay, so this was this is all the parameters you can calculate. So from the given, what I mean to say that all this can be calculated by the initial given graph. Okay, how they were connected. So you are predicting at the time t. So now my idea is that how can it be, it can be extended to sine graph. Okay, so in the iterated local transitivity model at each time step t, and for every, as I say, a new vertex, so it will be, see, the underlying graph will remain same. The pattern of the adding of vertices will be same. Initially, G naught will be given, a new clone vertex will be joining to each of the vertex, and the vertex to which it is adjacent, that is, it will be joining to its neighborhood, to the close neighbors of the set of vertices, and where here the weights are being also given to the edges. Like sometimes the weights are given plus and the weights are given minus. So because it is a model and it is an application, so how the weights are given, that also need to be explained, which I'll explain. Okay, so this model is this model we have called, this is worked by me and my students, and this is already published in 2016. So this model is called sign iterated local transitivity model. Okay, so for that, let me, for the people who are not well versed with the sign graph, I'll just go through few of the terminology to make people understand. Like what is sign graph? So sign graph, sometimes it is also called a psi graph, is a graph G. It is a graph, actually it is a graph G where each edge has been given the weight either +1 or -1. That is, there is a function assigned to the edges which is going to either +1 or -1. And these are called the signs of the edges. Okay. So like, because it is a sign, the sign graph will be denoted by capital S, and because it is defined on the graph G, so it will be G, and S is the function on the S set, so this is S. Okay, and so like here, if I show you, it is here. So this was a graph. So like why it is given this dotted, and this I'll tell you, when the edges are receiving the weight +1, I have, because graph theory always gives the what is it? It says that it has to be a pictorial representation which has to make the people understand easily. So now if we go on writing +1, -1, +1, -1, it will be like, again it will become cumbersome. So now what we do, that we just, when the edge is receiving minus sign, okay, then we will put the dotted line, and if the edge is receiving +1 weight, then we will put a bold line. So there can be so many sign graph possible with this graph. Okay, so how many sign graph possible? It will be 2 times, because every edge has got two possibility, that is, it can be either be going to +1 or -1. So it will be 2 raised to power e, the number of edges, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this means 2 raised to power 6 sign graphs are possible on this graph. Okay, but what do you want to? That will depend on what you are modeling. So when do you want? So these dotted lines we are generally, because these structures are generally being used by the social scientists, sociologists. So they call this as a negative, and they call this as a positive edge. The edge receiving minus sign, they are called as a negative edge, and the edge receiving plus sign, they are called as a positive edge. And because it has evolved from sociology, so this, what happens, that this says that A and B are positively interacting to each other, but B and C are not going well to each other. Okay, so there is a negative interaction between them. So see, now just I'll come to this later also, but then because the structure is there in front of me, so I am tempted to tell you, like, A is a friend. Agar if I take it in terms of social network, then I see that A is a friend of B and A is a friend of C also, but B and C are not going along well with each other. So this is a point of chaos, you know. There will be some time, because A is friend with B, A is also friend with C, but B and C, they are not going well with each other. So this type of relation will not long for longer time, you know, because there will definitely be a conflict. Okay, so but I'll come to that later. So these are, so how many, so these are called the sign graphs. So psi S is the collection of, S is sign graph, denote as sign graph is denoted by S. So psi S is the collection of all the sign graphs whose underlying graph is G. As told to you, the cardinality of psi S will be 2 raised to power E only. Okay, and if all the edges are getting plus sign, yeah, all the edges are getting negative sign, then those are called the homogeneous sign graph, and it will be they are called all positive or all negative also. Okay, so and cliques, we all know, is a complete subgraph of the graph. So and positive, and the see, in this case, degree of B is 3, but there are 2 negative edges incident to B and 1 positive edge incident to B. So negative degree of B is 2 and the positive degree of B is 1. So negative degree plus positive degree is the total degree. Similarly, negative degree of A is equal to 0 and positive degree of A is equal to 2. Negative degree of C is equal to 2, positive degree of C is 1, and so. Okay, so total degree, if I denote degree by D, so D of V will be plus V, degree of sum of the positive degree and negative degree. They are much studied because in the literature because of their extensive use in modeling cognition-based social process and also because of their strong connection with many classical systems. So it was discovered by Cartwright and Harari. They're mostly studied in social psychology by Cartwright and Harari in 1956. They have been rediscovered many times because as I told you, if you see such type of thing appearing in any other network, you are tempted to use there also. So that is why it has been rediscovered many times because they come up naturally in many unrelated areas, such as to describe and analyze the geometry of subsets of classical root systems. They appear in topological graph theory and group theory. They are natural context for question about odd and even cycles in graphs, and they are also used for computing ground state energy in non-ferromagnetic Ising model, where one needs to find the largest balance S set. They are also used for portfolio analysis and risk management. So all these are the applications of sine graph. I'll just not come to this, but then I'll so whatever is required for my model that I'll try to explain. So what is marking? Marking is again the function from the vertex set to plus and minus. It will again depend on how you are marking. So this will be the function mu from vertex to. So how many markings are possible to any sine graph? So that will be equal to 2 raised to power the cardinality of the vertex set. Okay. So all this I will need, see marking and signing I will be needing in my signed local iterative model, so transitive model. So that is why I am explaining all this thing. So what is balance? I also need, so I need to predict about balancedness of the complex network. So that is why I am talking about balanced sine graph. So whenever you construct a sine graph and you know what is cycle, being a graph theorist, and if in every cycle the number of negative edges are equal, okay, then those are called the balanced sine graph. Okay, so like this is the case of balanced sine graph where how many cycles are there? There are so many: 1 2 5 4 1 1 2 5 1 1 2 3 6 5 4 1. So all these cycles you see that the number of negative edges are even. So if this is the case, then such a sine graph is called balanced sine graph. And why do we give this terminology of balance? That is also very, very important to know because because when the sine graph is balanced, the vertices can be partitioned. You know, vertices can be partitioned into two subsets, such that each positive edge joins the vertices in the same set, and each negative edge will be joining. You can see it as a bipartite graph, where the in between edges you will be considering will be negative edges, and in a bipartite graph within the set there is no edge. But here you can say that the edges within the set will be all positive edges. So what happens? So sociologists study this in this manner that, see, so now the whole group of some people has been divided into two groups, such that locally in one group they have positive interaction between them. Locally in the other group also they have positive interaction between them, but there is a negative interaction amongst the group. But when so it is more like a balanced state because within the group they are happy, na? They are going along well with each other. So if they are not going along with the other group, it is not a very chaotic state. You know, like in the case of the conference or any kind of thing, when you want to give the job, there are so many things to be done for organizing the conference, like picking up the experts, designing the academic schedule, and then placing the people for the accommodation and so many things. So if you keep the like-minded people together, at least the work will be you will get the work done. Okay, so that is why the balanced nature is being. Sociologists have also studied it as a graph, and they see that the balanced sign graph is very, very important, because their like-minded people can be kept together. Okay, so Harari could see that he can partition the vertex set. See here I have not given dotted or bold line, but I have given plus minus, so that green circles of all, see if you see all green circles, they can be put together. They are having positive interaction, and all red circles can be put together. They are having positive interaction. But when green and green and red are joining, they have a negative. Wherever green and red are joining, they are negative. And this is why it is becoming possible, because in every cycle, the number of negative edges are even. In this cycle, 2. In this cycle also 2. In whichever cycle, bigger cycle you see, this bigger cycle A, C, E, F, G, H, F, H, G, D, B, A. There also you see that the number of negative edges are 4. So that means it will be, so such kind of structure, when every cycle have even number of negative edges, gives a beautiful concept of balance. And many in political system also, that is why it is said that multi-party system is not worth, because because every party will try to remain to its own, will try to be with their own people, they will not contradict their own people. So when there are two parties, the balancedness is maintained, because within the self they are with the same notion. Okay, but now when there are multi-party system, every party will be having their own notion. So now coming to the consensus really becomes difficult. Okay, so that becomes a case study for the social psychologists. Okay, so so that is why idealized party system will be only two-party system, and it is not. So I as told to you earlier that these are not only the place. So if balancedness is not necessarily is studied for the sociology, it can also be studied in physics, like voltage graphs, where according to Kirchhoff's second law, the sum of voltages along any circuit will be equal to 0. Okay, so this is Kirchhoff's second law. And what does balance say? Balance says that the sum of negative must be even. That is modulo 2 sum is 0. Okay, so that is how they are trying to compare. So it has very long back, and if you go to the book of Nursing Joe, they have beautifully explained this, how they are using Kirchhoff's second law. Okay, showing it by the balance sign. Okay. Then it is also used for the Ising model. One more risk management is that if you have so many securities, if you buy so many, if you are in a habit of buying the shares, so it is also sometimes you become dicey whether in the long run whether there will be a downfall, whether your shares will whether it may not fall or whatever. Okay, so people who are intelligent, what they do, and it has been Harari gave a model to that suppose there is a automobile industry, and so several cars, if you take the rising price of suppose, and you buy a share of the cars, so maybe there are so many cars, so rise in price hike in one of the car may result into the hike of price in the another car, or it may also lead to the to the downfall of price in the other car. So what happens that suppose it is a negligible disturbance, like very less up and low rise or low of the price, then what you can take that is actually you are looking into the correlation between the price of any two cars. So what you do, you draw a complete graph, underlying graph, and you take the correlation between every two the prices of every two cars. And what you say that if the correlation lies between correlation always lies between -1 and 1. So what happens if it lies between -0.2 to +0.2, make it negligible and you don't put any edge between them. And if the correlation lies between -0.2 to -1, put a negative edge between those two price of the two cars that you are looking for the prices. Okay. And then if the correlation lies between +0.2 to +1, then you put +1 edge. Now it will, so what have you resulted into? You have resulted into a signed graph. Okay. So this signed graph, if it is balanced, okay, this is what Harari has given in the paper. This is International Journal of Management in year 2002, where he says that if this sine graph which has been which you have made with the help of the secondary data, you will see that if it is coming out to be balanced, you are able to predict what will be its nature after, what will be the value of the shares after 15-20 years. But then if it comes out to be unbalanced, that is, there are certain cycles where number of negative edges are not even, then you will not be able to predict it. So people, those who don't want to manage the risk, what they do, they say like, okay, let us go by the way where you actually know what is going to happen. Okay, so not that, and those who are some people are also there to take the risk. Those who have enough money, so they go for risk also. Okay, so now ILT model, I'll just take some 20 minutes to cover this. The ILT model for sine network. Here we present the model. See, again, this is all those properties I'm going to use for the ILT model for sine network. So the sine network, I'm defining it at the time t, I'm defining it by sigma t greater than equal to 0. And again, it will generate a simple undirected sine graph. Okay, so at each time step t, the vertices, अब यहाँ पे, because we will be talking about vertices, marking of the vertices. So at each time step t, the vertices are marked positive or negative in sigma t. So how do you mark positive or negative? Okay, and here also the parameter in the sine graph is the initial sine graph, because here sine graph I'm denoting by sigma. So it will be sigma naught. Earlier when we were dealing with the graph, it was G naught, which is the fixed again connected sign. So let us suppose that at a fixed time t greater than 0, sigma t is constructed. So sigma t is given, sigma t is constructed, and to form sigma t actually is given, and how would you form sigma t plus 1? Or meaning to say that how would you form sigma 1 from sigma naught? Okay, so first of all, how will you do the marking? I'll come to that. But if the marking is given for each marked vertex x belonging to vertex set of sigma t, its clone x dash is added, so that x dash is connected to all the neighborhood vertex of x. Okay, the sign of the edge which you are getting, x dash y, will be equal to the marking of y, where y belongs to the neighborhood of x. The marking mu, how would you see? So this is what is you are going to do, but then I'll just explain with the graph also, but then this is a theory. The marking mu of the vertex, this is the vertex at the time t plus 1, will be equal to plus. I take plus if the positive degree of the vertex at the time t is greater than equal to total degree of the vertex at the time t divided by 2. This vertex v will also be there at the time t plus 1. None of the vertex is going to diminish. Every time vertex are going to be added. So at any time t plus 1, the vertex t vertex at the time t plus 1 will also have marking at the vertex at the time t. So it will be plus if degree of positive degree of Vt at the time t, where V at the time t is greater than equal to total degree divided by 2, and negative if the negative degree of Vt is strictly greater than the total degree divided by 2. So I have already explained that these are positive negative degree, and okay, and if n plus t is the cardinality of the positive vertex, because we have marked the vertex, so n at the time t, n plus t will denote the cardinality of the positively marked vertices, and this is the neighborhood of the positively marked vertices. Okay, so all these are definitions, and these are, and e plus t is the number of positive edges. Similarly, for negative values, we can define the above properties. So now, like, come to the graph. Suppose, see, यहाँ पे what we say that these, suppose this is the initial connected graph. So at time t equal to 0, so you are going to define these marked by this formula. This is plus if positive degree of Vt is greater than equal to, see, this is greater or equal to the total degree, and minus by this. So here also we see that this is plus according to the rule. Total degree is 2 and the positive degree is also 1, so they are coming out equal, so plus, and then this is minus. Then in the next step, you are going to take the clone of every vertex. So for x, x dash, for y, y dash, z dash, accordingly x dash will be joined to x and x dash will be joined to the vertex x is adjacent to. So x dash will be joined to y dash will be joined to y, and then y dash will be, because y is adjacent to x and z, y dash will be joined to x and y dash will be joined to z. Similarly, z. Okay, and these are the marking we have taken from here. So now what will be the marking of x dash, y dash and z dash? So x dash, y dash, z dash, you say that the marking of this is also defined. This is given that marking at t plus 1 is this, and also how will you marking? So you will go by this formula, and the sign of the edges x dash y is equal to mu y. Mu is the marking on the vertex 1. Okay, so you have given the sign also. See, so this means that y is a positive minded person, so that is why any line joining to y will be positive. That is why any line coming, see, new lines are these 3 lines. Okay, so any lines joining to y will be positive. Z is negative, so he will have negative effect. So it to other people. So generally, a negative because these are friends. Though if two are friends, the negative person will be always trying to if the person is negatively minded, if he is negative to this, he is also negative to Z is negative to Y dash. He is also going negative to Y also. Okay. So similarly, this kind of sign graph is being developed. So now, as the iteration we're using all these things, the iteration grows. Okay, the graph grows with the iteration. So in this model, the marking on vertex denotes the nature of bond with its neighbors. Positive vertex is the vertex is positive mark and indicates that the person befriends, that is person is more friendly with his neighbors, and a negative vertex states that the person is hostile with other people and may not be very friendly. So new clone vertex thus added at each time step makes its relation according to the marking already existing with the already existing vertices. So this is how the graph grows, and as shown for the graph, this is also shown for the sign graph. So the positive degree at any time of any vertex will be growing in this manner, and it can be given in relation of the degree of the vertex in the previous iteration, or it can also be given at the cardinality of the neighborhood of the vertex. Okay, so this one can work it out, and these are all following from the definition. Okay, then the important properties come that the clone vertex x dash, the clone vertex x dash of a vertex x at the time in the sign graph at the time t plus 1 is marked positive If and only if, so there it was given in terms of degree, here it is given in the term of the cardinality of the neighborhood. So these are the this is the cardinality of the positive neighborhood of the positively marked vertex, and these are the cardinality of the neighborhood of the vertex x which are negatively marked. Okay, so this can be, this is an alternate which can be easily seen. Okay, so this is an explanation out here. So here also, if x belongs to positive degree of the if x is positively marked, that is x belongs to the vertex v plus sigma naught already been defined is the set of the vertices which contains the vertex which are positively marked. So this is very important and very attractive thing to see that its clone vertex x dash is negative if and only if this is not, this is same thing, this is defined for the negative, so it is not, but then the okay, these are the alternate like these are given in terms of neighborhood, one can verify. Okay, this is very important and very beautiful also. Since sigma t is a signed subgraph of sigma t will always be the signed subgraph of sigma t plus 1 for each vertex x naught belonging to the sigma naught. Vertex set of sigma naught will have unique clone at every time step. We have the following theorem. Actually, what happens that suppose this is the vertex x, okay, so at the time t is equal to 1, it will have one first iteration, it will have one clone. Then at the time t is equal to, again this vertex will be there, so this will have another clone. At the time t is equal to 3, this will have another clone. T is equal to 4, it will have another clone. So as many iterations you go, this vertex at every step will be having a clone. Okay, so that is what it is saying, that if x1 belongs to sigma 1, be a clone of, now we are talking about the first iteration, be a clone of vertex x naught at sigma naught, then the mark of every clone vertex will remain same. Marking we are saying na, so we will be marking according to the rule. So rule say we have come to the theorem that the marking will remain same throughout if you are going this way. Okay, for every clone vertex of the same vertex at every iteration for the same vertex. Okay, and also there is another thing that x has a clone x1, in the other step x1 has a clone x2, in the other step x2 has a clone x3, and so forth. So this also is growing, and here also the marking remains same. Okay, so whatever is the mark of x naught, same will be the mark of all this. So now we discussed the property of balance in IRT model for a given sign graph. What it says that, I'll just come to the theorem, that for a given sign sigma naught, you know, sigma naught, then you can predict whether sigma, when you are given a initial parameter that is sigma naught, a sign graph, what can you say about the balanced nature at the time, at any time t? So it says that if for a given sign sigma naught, sigma t is balanced for all t. This is for all t. Every t, for sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3, 4. If and only if for each positive edge uv in sigma naught. So it is depending again on the structure of initial parameter sigma naught. For each positive edge uv in sigma naught, n vertices u and v possess the same marking. That is either both are marked positive or both are marked negative. And for each negative edge uv in sigma naught, n vertices are oppositely marked. If this is the case for sigma naught, then you will see that at every iteration sigma t will be balanced. And the algorithm has also been developed, and it is says that this sigma t will be balanced, and the complexity of such an algorithm will be of order n square. Then again, what is clusterability? Like in balance, you are able to partition the vertex set only in two, such that the vertices within the set are joined by the positive edge, and vertices across the set are joined by the negative edge. So clusterable means there are not only two partitions, there can be more than two. So balance becomes a special case of clusterability where there are only two partitions. Okay, so here also, if there are three partitions, so within the set they are if they are joining, they will be joined by a positive edge, and across the set, if they are interacting, then they will be joined by a negative edge. So a sign graph is said to be, so there is again a theorem given by Davis that this is the definition, so that okay, but there is also a theorem. A sign graph is clusterable if and only if any sign graph is clusterable if and only if sigma contains no cycle with exactly one negative. If there is a sign graph with no cycle containing exactly one negative edge, then you will be able to divide or partition the vertex set into clusters so that negative edge will lie across. Okay. With of course, if with one negative edge it will become difficult because if there is a cycle, how would then the positive line will also go between across the sets, which we don't want. From the given parameter sigma naught, you can predict about sigma t. That sigma naught is if sigma naught has such all these properties, then sigma t is clusterable for all t if and only if sigma naught is clusterable. That is sigma t can be clusterable if sigma naught is clusterable. Sigma naught does not contain any positive edge UV such that U and V have opposite marks. So it will depend on the model. And sigma naught does not contain any negative edge UV such that U and V both are marked. So these are the conditions for balance only. Then there are other properties like you can have several sign compatibility and then C sign compatibility. So there are few properties, and I think one can go through and satisfy themselves. So these are the papers which have been referred, and majorly the paper being referred was this Anthony Bonato, Noor Harvey, and Paul Horn. This was Pavel Pralat and this VAM, Models of Online Social Network, which appeared in Internet Mathematics in year 2009, and this paper came to me for the reviewing. So I just got fascinated at that time. I was working with the Acharya, and he also got interested, but then he was not there to see the result in terms of sign graph. So he left us before before it took the shape in terms of sign graph and got published. So thank you all. This is all what I wanted to present. And if you have any questions, you can ask.